Disclaimer.
The thoughts and opinions expressed by our guests are not necessarily the views of Tash, Becky, or Be Your Best You podcast.
Hey there, lovely people. Welcome to Be Your Best You with Tash and Becky, your go-to hangout for all things spiritual, subconscious, and downright magical. We're here to sprinkle a little mystical wisdom into your everyday life and help you level up your reality.
Picture this as your cosmic coffee date, where we chat about the unseen world, blend in some psychology vibes, and stir up the subconscious magic. Get ready to be the queen of your own reality, live a life that lights you up, and have a blast doing it.
So grab your latte or your tea and let's dive into another episode of Be Your Best You, where the mystical meets the mundane and your best life awaits.
Cheers to creating magic together.
Let's do this.
Hey guys, can we ask you a favour? Can we ask, if you haven't already, please make sure that you're following us on Spotify and Apple Podcasts so you can get updated with all the latest episodes every week when they come out. You never know, it might just be the thing that you need to hear at that time. Also, don't forget you can watch us on YouTube, so make sure you head over there and subscribe to us there.
And share with all your friends.
Thanks, guys. Hi, welcome back to another episode of Be Your Best You with Tash.
And Becky, the guest edition. And today we're talking to Kijuan Amey.
Kijuan is awesome. I'm just going to say it. I've said it a million times, but he's a little ray of sunshine.
Yeah.
Please listen to this podcast and take his energy away with you. That's all we're going to say. Well, we will say, to let you know what you're listening to, Kijuan was in a motorcycle accident in 2017 and he lost his sight and broke every single part of his body, basically. And his story is just an absolute inspiration. He's, like I said, a ray of sunshine. And we can't wait for you guys just to hear him and just to be in his energy, because he's a dude.
And you will benefit.
He will.
He's a dude. He is a dude.
He is a dude. All right. Enjoy, guys. Hi. Welcome back to another episode of Be Your Best You with Tash
And Becky, the guest edition.
And today we have on the show Kijuan Amey. Kijuan, welcome.
Hi, Kijuan.
Thank you guys for having me so much, Tash and Becky. You guys are awesome. Hey, I like the way you guys do that. Hi, that's so cool. That's so cool. I was doing my best to hold back my smile.
You know what, everybody, as soon as we do that, it's really fun for us to watch our guests because everyone's smiling. Some people can't hold it back. Some people just outright laugh at us, but we love it.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Oh, well, we're so excited to talk with you, Kijuan. Now, what we'd really love is, like, before we get dug into all the conversation that we're going to have, and we're really excited, could you just tell people kind of who you are and what it is you do at the moment right now, how you're helping people in the world?
Yes, absolutely. So as you all mentioned, I am Kijuan Amey out of Durham, North Carolina, here in the United States. I am also a professional resilience speaker and coach. I'm a mentor. I'm also an ambassador for the Air Force Wounded Warriors program. A drummer, an author. Geez, if I keep going, we'll be here all day, so I'll cut it off there as far as professionally. And I do other things on the side, like real estate and things of that nature. But that's like side stuff where I have other people managing my properties. So with that being said, I am, like you mentioned, speaking nowadays. I actually just won my first award speaking in a competition. Thank you. I won first place. There were approximately, I think about 15 speakers, if I'm not mistaken, in this competition. And I came in first for my first competition. So I can now say that I am an award-winning speaker. So yes, professional.
Okay, cool. So we're going to have to ask you now, and we're going to dig into how you got to where you are now, and are you happy to share your story with everybody and to tell them how you got here?
Oh, sure. Yeah. So how I got to where I am today was based off of, where I was May 5th, 2017. And where and what I was on May 5th, 2017, let me take you back in time. That I was in the United States Air Force at that time, serving as an in-flight refueling specialist. That's where you refuel planes in midair.
Wow.
Yes. Wow is exactly right.
Dangerous.
Because that's how I felt. Look, that's how I felt, and I was doing the job. And so I was an in-flight refueling specialist. I was also going to school full-time because I was a reservist at this time. I had already did my 4 years on active duty, and then I spent the next 6 on reserve. And so I was going to school full-time for computer information systems. And then I also had started my own business. So I was the CEO then as well. And the name of my business then was Kiwi Enterprise. Kiwi is actually my nickname, and it was also my call sign in the Air Force.
Oh, cool.
So as air crew, in the military, you get a call sign. So for those who've seen like Top Gun, Maverick and all those guys, those guys, that's a call sign. That's not their real name. So I was doing that, and then in my business, I did website design and management, social media marketing, and photography.
Wow.
And so those were the 3 things that I offered to small businesses, because a lot of people overlook small businesses, when it comes to having something affordable. You know what I mean? For those types of things. And so that's what I did it for. I'm the person who loves to give back, and you'll see that really, really soon here in this interview. And then last but not least, I was still playing semi-professional football. I was playing football while I was in the military and doing all of this stuff at the same time at the age of 25, the ripe age, And so with this happening all at once, and on that one May 5th, 2017, what some might call Cinco de Mayo over here, I call my new life's journey, because I would be involved in a terrible, horrific motorcycle accident. Now, this motorcycle accident, the one thing that I used to always hear when I got on the bike, hey, make sure you're being safe out there. Make sure you're watching. Okay, I get that part. I took all the courses. They tell you that all the time. That's cool. But everybody else with these bigger vehicles are the problem. You know what I mean? And so here I am, riding down a street going 55 miles per hour. Not sure what that converts to in kilometers.
We do miles per hour as well.
Oh, okay. But miles per hour. And anywho, that's what I was doing, 55, and which is what the speed limit was. And a Honda Accord, a silver Honda Accord, pulled out in front of me. And that was pretty much it. Next thing I know, I'm waking up in the hospital. How much later, you ask? I'm glad you guys asked. You guys are great. I woke up a month and a day later.
Oh, wow.
Yes, I was in a medically induced coma. So I woke up on June the 6th of 2017 after having had surgery literally from head all the way down to my right foot.
Oh my gosh.
Well, when I say head, I'm going to show you what I mean. So you see right here, the scar?
Yep.
Yeah.
That goes all the way across
Wow.
to open up my skull because my brain was swollen.
Wow, yeah.
My right eyelid had to be repaired using the skin from my clavicle area. My jaw was broken, so they had to wire my mouth shut. My teeth were chipped and cracked. Of course, being visually impaired, I'm 100% blind. I had to have a tracheotomy done because my face was literally crushed in. So breathing wasn't that good. So they put a trach in. My spinal cord is medically infused from L4 to T2 with 2 rods and 12 screws. I broke both of my legs to include the largest bone in your body, which is your femur. So my right femur was broken. That's metal. My left tibia, which is your shin, was broken. So that's metal. right, I believe it was my right fibia was also fractured. And I have a screw in my right foot, which now makes it a whole nother size compared to my left. So my left foot is a 10 in men's, and my right foot is an 11 in men's.
How does that work when you buy shoes?
It's expensive. No, seriously, it was expensive at first because I didn't know what was wrong.
Yeah.
Literally for, oh gosh, it was six years? I didn't know what was wrong with my feet. So my right foot kept going numb. I knew it was the right one because the left one was like, I don't know what's wrong. I'm not having a problem. And these shoes feel fine to me. You need to ask him. And so that was the conversation me and him were having. He kept blaming the other guy. And so anyway, I'm buying these really, and hear me clearly, $180 US, guys. US dollars, $200 shoes with still the same problem. Because I'm buying a 10. Well, this 11 over here is like, dude, I'm cramped in here. I don't know if you get it, but I'm cramped. He's fine. And so, about 2 years ago or so, maybe a year and a half, I went to a podiatrist. And I was like, I can't figure out what's wrong with my foot. It keeps swelling. It goes numb. Can you figure something out? So they, testing the sensitivity, making sure I still got the right feeling and I'm not having neuropathy or anything.
Yeah.
So they testing all this stuff. And they're like, I don't know, maybe something else. Wait a minute. Stand up. And I was like, I don't have a problem standing. I said, it's my foot. So anyway, I'm standing up, like whatever. And she said, And she was like, put your foot on this. And those little metal things that you put your foot on to measure your feet?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, she told me to put my foot on that. And I had never knew what that was for ever in my life. So I put my foot on it. And I'm like, what are you looking for? And she was like, what size shoe did you say you wear? I said, a 10. And she says, not according to this. And I was like, what? And she was like, your right foot is 11. I said, what? I said, can you guys cut me a check for all that money I spent? Trying to find shoes. So they literally had to make me custom shoes.
Oh.
So I have custom shoes with custom insoles. Oh, they feel so amazing.
Oh.
They're literally made to my foot.
Yeah, nice.
And I have a very high arch. So that's even better.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
I didn't realize how high my arch was until they made that.
Oh.
Yeah.
And I was like, holy crap. But it's night and day, literally. Like, even when I actually put those shoes on, just sometimes just to flex my feet out. So like, because they're perfectly form-fitting, they actually extend my foot all the way out versus sometimes your feet are balled up.
Yeah. Yeah.
Those have enough room for my feet to spread in them. So it's actually different, it's a different feel than what I'm used to walking in.
Yeah.
And I wear those shoes like, because I have Brooks running shoes and they gave me a pair of those for when I go work out. Because I told them, I work out. I need something to wear for workout. I can't wear those boots. You gave, because that's how they look like. They look like boots. But I said, I can't wear boots to work out in. That's going to suck on a treadmill.
Yeah.
And so anyway, I put those Brooks on, and it's like after about 5 good steps in them, my right foot cracks. And I'm like, oh, that feels so good. People don't understand the pain my feet go through, especially that right one, So yeah, that's just a little bit about the little things that I went through.
Wow. I mean, when you said that you hit a car at 55 miles an hour, I don't know how you survived that. Has anybody said that, you're this miracle? Like, I've heard of so many motorcycle accidents at speeds of less than that where people just, their whole bodies are just broken and they don't survive. How did you... What happened? Was there something? Was there a way that you hit the car that made you survive? Like, you're blowing my mind right now.
I'm going to use the phrase miracle child walking.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because there are a lot of things I won't say I don't understand. I know because I believe in God. I'm a faith believer, and I know He's why I'm still here.
Yeah.
But then you have those who's like, you know how it is. But anywho, that I know that's why I'm still here
Yeah.
because I don't remember anything from the accident.
Mm.
That month that I was in a coma, they were doing all those surgeries. I didn't feel none of that.
Mm.
And hear me clearly, I've got plenty of cuts on me.
Yeah.
The one I just showed y'all was just one, okay? And it was a long one, and it's very excruciating, but that's just one. I've had to have surgeries since I got out of hospital too, because I had to have one to surgically repair my eyelid. Because when they initially did it, I guess they flipped me on my face to do my spinal cord, and it was stuck down in a down position.
Oh.
So then they had to go refix that
Oh.
and cut again. So then they used some skin from behind my ear.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you guys suck. Because who wants to keep getting cut on, you know?
Yeah.
And so then it got to a point where they were just doing minor ticky-tack like surgeries, like little things, like just to, I'm going to squinch this up and then I'm going to put this little plastic piece on the side just to squint your eyes because I was having, like you keep seeing me wipe my eye. It's because so much air gets in, it tries to dry it out. So your eye naturally wants to water. And so that's why I keep wiping it. But what they were trying to do is make it so it wasn't as bad. Listen, the as much as my eye used to run so bad, it was so bad, like to the point where it was accumulating crust on my face, not right there in your eye, but on my face.
Yeah.
That's how bad it was running. And so they fixed that, just kept nicking at it. And okay, if we squinch it a little bit more, I said, if y'all squinch it anymore, I'm gonna be Asian. You know what I mean? And so I said, I'm not even going to look like myself if you keep squinching. And so that last time they did it, they did local anesthetics. Okay. I don't know if anybody's ever been on a local anesthesia. It sucks.
Oh, no, I haven't.
It burns like crazy.
Oh.
And I had to get not one, not two, but 3 shots for that. Each lasting about 15 seconds per injection because you can't you can't just shoot it in there because it's the type of drug it is, it would literally burn me up. And so they had to go on the top of my eyelid, the side of my face, and then the bottom eyelid portion of my eyelid. Those were the 3 spots that they did. I don't know if you've ever seen that movie, The Incredible Hulk.
Yeah.
Where they give him that shot and he's just like, that was me. I was turning green on the table.
I'm gonna say you've had pretty much every bone in your body broken. You've hit a car at 55 miles an hour and you're moaning about anesthetic injection.
So I'm literally turning green, okay? I'm just on the table. And he's like, hold on, I'm almost done. I'm like, you are finished. But yeah, no, it's like, it was one of those moments where after he did it, of course it sucked. But I literally was like, when I tell you gripping that chair is an understatement, it really was. Because they had to, like one of the people were holding my feet so I wouldn't kick, because that would make me move. And then the other guy, he was on this side. And I told him, I said, if this hurts, I'm coming for you. and he was a student, so I know he was like, what? And so I just frightened him. And then anywho, so it's 3 of them in there, the student and then the lady doctor who's going to actually perform the surgery and then my usual eye doctor who usually looks at stuff for me. So he was just kind of talking through the things. And I'm guessing she needs some more works or clinicals on that stuff. I don't know. But anyway, they did that thing. And the reason I couldn't go to sleep for this one, because I'm usually always asleep. They usually always knock me out. that kind of anesthesia. The only reason I couldn't go, so he was like, it'll probably be over in like 15 minutes.
Oh.
And I was like, what? You telling me you gonna cut my eyelid, then put this plastic piece on it, make me look like an Asian woman, and and that's all gonna happen in 15 minutes? Oh, and you gonna stitch it back up? Wait a minute. I said, y'all are really good. Y'all are really good. But yeah, no, that's one of the ones I was actually awake for. I think that was the only one I was awake for, surgery-wise.
It's so brave.
Yeah.
It's like,
Yeah.
and to go through all of that, and it's a wonder you can, to walk, and you
Yeah.
think that you think you.
Oh yeah, I definitely had to learn how to walk all over again.
Oh,
So that's what I was going to actually go on to ask you. So obviously you were in a medically induced coma for a month, and you wake up, and obviously you're thinking, what's happened? Where am I? And you have to come to terms with obviously all your injuries and what's happened to you. How did you deal with that? How did you move forward?
Like anyone would. What the heck is going on here? Like no joke. So at first, when I woke up in the hospital, I was kind of like taken back. I just felt like I had just woke up from a really great sleep. Okay, remember all the stuff I told you I was doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I was having like
Yeah.
and I was having like 3 a.m. nights. Okay,
Yeah.
that's like all the stuff I was doing, and waking back up at like 7, 8 in the morning. Okay, so I'm only sleeping like 4 or 5 hours a night sometimes.
Gosh.
You know what I mean? I might catch a nap during the day, but that's it.
Yeah.
And so going from that to now being literally being asleep for a month, I really was like, wow, man, that was some good sleep. Oh boy. Ooh-wee. Yeah, I'm ready to go run. No, I'm not.
Aw.
And so when I finally wake up, I hear voices. And I'm thinking I'm at my apartment, okay?
Right.
I don't live with anybody, just to let y'all know.
Right.
So I'm hearing voices to what I think is in my apartment.
Yeah.
Someone's in here.
So yeah, intruder alert.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking I'm about to drop to the floor, get my pistol, and it's time to go desperado in here. And we're going guns a blazing, okay? Wild, Wild West style. But then I was like, wait a minute. I recognize those voices. I said, okay, I know why my girlfriend would be here. But what the heck is my mom doing in here? Because if that's your bedroom, you are not prepared for your mom to be in there when you're waking up. Especially not if your significant other's over there. And so that's what I was thinking. And with that, I'm listening to them talk now because, again, I heard their voices, so I'm listening to the conversation. I wouldn't necessarily call it eavesdropping, but I was ear hustling the conversation. And I was like, ooh, somebody's been in a motorcycle accident. Wait a minute. Who was that? Now, I listened probably for like 5 or 10 minutes.
Yeah.
This was the worst story I ever heard
Oh my
because not once did they mention the name.
God.
And I'm like, can you please tell me who's the star cast member of this scene? Then they would not say the name the same, but I did not know it was about me. Because again, I'm thinking I'm at home.
Yeah.
And so finally I was like, whatever, I'm about to figure out who this is. And I go to open my eyes and I'm like, wait a minute. And so I do one of those really hard blinks you see people do. Blink, 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 blink.
Yeah.
And then you open your eyes like,
Yeah.
okay, I know my eyes are open. But why come I can't see nothing?
Yeah.
And so then I go to speak. Only not to be able to say anything.
Oh gosh.
Because my jaw was broken. So they wired it shut. What kind of Nightmare on Elm Street movie is this?
Yeah.
I know.
You know what I mean? Like, I literally felt like I was waking up in a nightmare. And they started to hear, the murmurs
Right.
from my voice because I'm trying to say hey and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But they're like, what is it? What is it? And I'm like, what do you mean, what is it? I can't see or talk. Hello. like hello. Am I the blind one or are you? But it was, I guess they thought something else was wrong. Like maybe I was in pain or something because I was going through a lot of pain
Yeah.
while I was in that coma.
Mm.
Rightfully so.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so they were trying to understand what I was saying. And I really just kept trying to get questions or answers, for what was going on, what I'm waking up to, basically. And eventually it gets to a point where they can't understand me because the length of my questions are doing this, getting longer and longer and longer. And they're like, I don't understand you.
Mhm.
And so my mom was like, hold on. And so I was like, so she comes over with a notepad and a pencil and she hands it to me. And I said, really? You want me to write? Hello. I can't see. And this is really what happened. So she's like, just try it. You've been doing it. And I'm like, been doing it? This is my first day awake.
Yeah.
I guess from what I know, my subconscious had been working the whole time.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
I'll give you a story on that just a second. So I'm going to tell you what I wrote to her. So I wrote, what is this motorcycle accident dream you all are talking about? And I hand it back to her. She reads it. And she's like, oh no, that's not a dream. That's what happened to you. Yeah, you ever heard of somebody like slinking into the bed or, never wanting to move again? Yeah, that's how I felt.
Yeah.
Because I just got hit with a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
And I've never been hit with a ton of bricks, but I think I know what it feels like now.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
It just felt like the weight of the world was all on you. And I was like, good Lord. What? Wait, what? That's about who? It can't be me. No, I'm not a crazy writer. I don't do that stuff. I don't do willies, stunts, none of that. The worst thing I've ever done is go fast.
Yeah.
And then when I was doing it, I was scared, so I stopped. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like so I'm not that guy. And I was like, what? How did this? Like I'm just going crazy. Like how did this happen? And so finally, after like a day or so, I asked. I said, well, how did it happen? And that's when she told me what I just told you guys, and somebody pulling out in front of me from the intersection. And yes, of course, they were at fault. There were two cars behind him that wrote on the police report, or it was as it was stated, shall I say, on the police report that they saw me coming, so they don't know why he didn't.
Right.
So easily, he was in the wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got two people that said they saw me coming. And they're behind you. So what were you doing?
Yeah.
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 Now back to my subconscious. I'll give you a great story of this, which I'm still blown away by it.
Wow.
And I'll tell you why. So I am, I believe, still in intensive care, maybe, or maybe moved just out of that. It's not too far removed from those. And my friend and his ex-girlfriend now, but it was his girlfriend at the time. They come visit me and we're talking. Of course, I'm not saying a word because my jaw is wide shut, but we're like trying to communicate, and they can actually understand me pretty well. But it was one point they couldn't. And I was like, oh, and she was like, you got so frustrated. You just kept reaching for my phone. You like, give me the phone. And I'm like, and she was like, well, what are you going to do with my phone? And I was like, just give it here. Just, I'm pointing at my hand. Just give it here. And so I've never used her phone before, and it was not an iPhone. That was all I knew how to use. Okay. So I take the phone, hear me clearly, not an iPhone, which is what I use, and I can't see.
Yeah.
Two things, right? I go straight to her messages and I start typing what I'm trying to say, and I hand it back to her. And she said I missed maybe 2 words.
So okay, so when you were doing that then, did
Yeah.
you feel like you could see what you were writing? I know obviously you couldn't see, but did you feel
It
like it
had
was
to
in
be
your
muscle
mind?
memory. It had to be muscle memory.
Yeah.
Because again, it wasn't even a platform I was used to using.
No.
You know what I mean? So it just had to be all muscle memory. I couldn't see a thing, and her phone, I believe, was an Android,
Mm.
and
So
I'm
it
an
all
Apple
these
user.
places.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
the fact that I could even know what her messages were, I was
Yeah.
like, what the heck am I? Like, what is going on? And she told me this. She
Yeah.
said, I still remember that. They took me to, where you guys living?
Southampton in England.
Okay, so you don't have a Texas Roadhouse.
No.
So,
We don't.
that's what I was like. So I, you know, they took me to Texas Roadhouse. You know, we just went out as friends, and they told me that story, and I was like, wait, what? I did what?
Yeah.
Like, y'all do know I don't know none of this, right? It was like, yeah, we know. That's the problem. And so the fact that you were doing all this stuff, we all were trying to figure out what was going on.
So did you not have any memory of doing that? As far as you were aware, were you unconscious? Were you out of it at that point?
I was in a sedation, probably just past or just to the point where I couldn't remember.
Mm.
Cause like literally until June the 6th, I don't know nothing. I don't know anything.
Mm.
May 5th, June the 6th, that month is gone in
Yeah.
2017.
Yeah.
Literally, I lost a month of my life.
Mm. Mm.
I don't know where it is.
No.
But other people who told me stories, they do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so that's literally one of those a month of my life
Mm.
stories. I should write a book about that. That's a good one.
It's crazy. It just makes me think of, because I've heard stories about like remote viewing where they do exercises with like kids particularly because they're really good at it, but they blindfold them and the children
Mhm.
are reading books and they're saying colors of beanbags and stuff like that. It's like
Wow.
they can see in their mind's eye, and it just went, as soon as you said that, it just made me think that you were seeing it with your mind's eye. Like you don't actually have to see, like you
Mm.
yeah, that's just crazy. That blows
It's
my
pretty
mind.
cool.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Interesting.
So then you obviously that coming to terms with what's happened to you. You then have to start rehabilitating when you wake up, right? So you said you had to learn to walk again.
Yeah.
So how? Because you went from being such a busy person, not even like a regular normal person.
man.
It's like that, yeah, action man doing all the things, to like having to learn to walk again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you take that? How did you get through that?
Well, first off, it was very hard.
Yeah.
As I mentioned, I was having like 3 a.m. nights. And these 3 a.m. nights are usually either me doing homework or working on my business. Listen, when it came to doing websites, I could do that all day.
Yeah.
I love that stuff.
Mm.
Like back then when you gave me something to do, my creative mind, because I'm left-handed, my creative mind is crazy.
Mm.
I love that stuff.
Mm.
Probably why I like the drums.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I just love being creative and creating things. And so when it came to that, recovery process and thinking of the things that I used to do,
Mm.
it was so hard.
Yeah.
I was like, literally everything stopped like that
Mm.
because of one accident, not multiple, just one. And that was the only accident I've ever been in.
Yeah.
And so it was very hard. I didn't really have like the depressed moments until I got back home though. Like in the hospital, I was always busy. Somebody's always doing something. Somebody's always coming in, physical therapy, occupational therapy, family, friends, coworkers, church members. Somebody's always coming. So I didn't have time to sit there and wallow,
Yeah.
which was great
Mm-hmm.
because I appreciated it.
Yeah.
Took my mind off of it. It actually made me heal faster.
Yeah.
Why do I say that? Because I was ready to tell somebody I did something new You know, every time they walked in. Oh, guess what I did today?
Yeah.
Oh, guess how far I walked today? Oh, guess how strong my leg is getting? Let me show you this. And that was what it was all about.
Yeah.
I wanted to which is the definition of resilience. I wanted to show them how I'm bouncing back.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that was just one of the big things that I held on to. Don't get me wrong, it was tough, especially that walking thing. Ugh. Listen, I've never in my life wanted to be in a wheelchair, okay? Until I started walking. Let me tell you what I mean by that. So hear me what I say. I said I never wanted to be in a wheelchair until I started walking. Now, why do I say it like that? Okay, when I go to physical therapy to learn how to walk again, you go into the parallel bars. That's where, for those who don't know, the two bars are alongside you, and they raise it to your height. Raise it or lower it to your height that you need to hold on to it with your hands. And you take steps. Now, I'm taking like baby steps, literally baby steps. And they might even take bigger steps than I was taking, okay? That's how bad it was. I would take like 3, maybe 4 steps, and I am ready to sit down. Give me that wheelchair.
Yeah.
Okay? Because I'm so weak. You know, the fatigue set in very quickly. Why? Because I'm not an infant at about, 15, 20, 25 pounds. I'm 140, maybe 150 pounds. That is a lot of weight to be putting on not just anybody, but an injured body. You know what I'm saying? So when I say that, I've never wanted to be in a wheelchair until I walked. That's what I mean by that.
Makes total sense.
But as soon as I got out of that wheelchair, I was done with it. So I went from the wheelchair to the walker, and then the walker to a cane, an actual support cane.
And now, do you just walk normally now?
Oh yeah. I can run, I can jump.
Wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, I can run, jump. Now the jumping thing is kind of still because of I'm not as graceful of a lander anymore. I used to be like an amazing jumper back in my day. Those were my favorite events in track, which were high jump and long jump. Those are my favorite events in track. But I am no longer a graceful jumper anymore. So when I jump, it's heavy. Everybody hears it, and so you're going to hear all 240 pounds of me when I jump, but I can jump.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. It's
But
just so
this is
positive.
your determination, isn't it? This
Yep.
is your mind.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, I never thought with the physical capability that I have now, I never thought I would.
No.
I never thought I would see these things again, like to be able to lift weights the way I do now. Like I'm for those who understand weightlifting, like deadlifting over 315 pounds, bench pressing over 225 pounds,
Oh my God.
squatting over 225 pounds.
Jeez, my son would be impressed with this.
Yeah. So and just jumping, just all of these things. We talked about me walking, but the fact that I can turn these legs and run again, like that right there is a whole different level.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And it might not be for long, but I can do it, darn it.
Yeah. You're just honestly, you're just so positive. You've just told like such a devastating story, and all I'm hearing is just the positive perspective that you've taken in every single step.
Yeah.
Like I can't even imagine waking up. I mean, like you said, it's the thing of nightmares, waking up, opening your eyes and not being able to see. Throw in not being able to speak because your jaw's wired shut, and that is just on a whole nother level. And yet still you're just like, no, I can get up. I'm going to do this. I'm going to keep going. I'm going to look at me. I can walk. Look at me now. I can stand up. It's just the positivity in there. I don't think I don't think I would be able to be that positive, honestly. Like, what have you always been? I'm really curious.
Yeah.
Have you always been? Because we're talking to you now. Like, as soon as we started talking to you, you're just a ray of sunshine. You've got this like energy about you, which you just can't help but smile.
I
We felt
know.
it from the minute we spoke to you. Have you always
Yeah.
been like that?
I've always had a smile, yes.
Yeah.
It's more. I think it boiled more down to the determination factor.
Yeah.
Right.
I never knew why I was getting a tattoo. When I was 18, I was 18 when I got my first tattoo,
Yeah.
and it's right here on my chest.
Mm.
I I believe in getting tattoos that mean something.
Yeah.
That's what I believe in.
Yeah.
You know, because there are some crazy ones.
Yeah.
But my very first one is just words. Nothing crazy, words. It says determined to be successful.
Wow.
So I didn't even know then what that was going to mean.
Oh,
But it's a mantra that I live by.
yeah.
You know, even the my left arm is the serenity prayer.
Right.
And if you ever read that prayer, and I challenge anybody to go read that, find out, you can Google it, the serenity prayer.
Okay.
I challenge you to read it, and I promise
Yeah.
you it'll remind you of me.
Oh, wow, I'm gonna look at
Yeah,
that.
we'll look at that after we're done.
And then this one was the last one I got, the lion's head and everything. It says inhale or breathe courage, and then exhale fear.
Wow.
Now, if these things don't define me, I don't know what does. Okay? And remember, and I want you to also remember this. I got all of these tattoos before I lost my sight.
Yeah.
Just think about that.
Mm.
All of these tattoos before I had my accident. I didn't know what they would mean later on in my life.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But here they are.
I mean, they're powerful statements anyway, aren't they?
Mhm.
Let alone, what was to come. It
Mhm.
takes on a whole new meaning, level. It's just unreal, isn't it?
Yeah.
And God, I'm kind of I've kind of lost my words because so hold on then. So you've gone from having to learn to walk and do all the things that you had to do to rehabilitate yourself in the hospital, and like you said, then you got home and you maybe felt it a little bit more there. It was a bit more difficult when you got home.
Mm.
Yeah, it's kind of one of those things where, like, which I understood after the fact, but during the time, it was hard to grasp. But people have lives. I can't forever receive visits. And one of the hardest parts of it was, and I know you guys are gonna have a good one with this. One of the hardest parts were the lady that I was seeing at the time.
Mm.
She ghosted me,
Oh.
and I mean complete, to the point where she changed her number. Not just blocked me, she changed her
Mm.
number.
Gosh.
You know what I mean? What did I do?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't ask for this accident.
No.
You know what I'm saying? And so when I think about it that way, it really brought me down. I was like, well, God, I thought we already had this talk about why did this happen to me, and yet you're still having bad things happen to me.
Yeah.
And he was like, she's not a part of your journey.
Mm. Yeah.
There's someone else I got for you.
Yeah.
And so that's the thing. Listen, whenever I'm talking to anybody, it does not matter what the conversation, doesn't matter the topic, doesn't matter what speaking engagement I'm doing. This is the first thing I start with, mindset.
Mm.
If you don't have the right mindset to handle whatever it is, it doesn't matter.
Yeah.
I don't care what it is. It does not matter.
Mm.
Because everything starts with the mind. Everything starts with your mind.
Mm.
Me talking about this starts up here. Me moving my hand starts up here because I can't do it without my mind. And you know, the one thing that they say in that doctor's room, if they say this, it's over. Everybody knows it's over. If they say the brain is dead, they're done. They're pulling the plug on you because you can't do anything else with that body.
Right.
They can't go in and replace the brain. Think about that. So if you're not going to get it right up here, it doesn't matter. Everything else fails. And so when I decided to shift my mind, you hear that word I'm using, shift my mindset to the positivity that you guys are seeing here now. That's what's making the difference.
And that's a choice, right? Isn't it?
It is, absolutely. It is a choice. And some people act like it's not.
Yeah.
And I'm like, who else is doing it? It's your body. Unless, of course, you know, it happened when you were younger and you were manipulated. But that's different.
Yeah.
But as an adult, it's a choice.
Yeah. And so with and also because I know you said you know you kind of you have your your faith as well. Do you think that you having that faith in that higher power helped you get through what you went through as well in a positive way? Because I've heard you say, you spoke to God and you were like, why is this happened? And you have that positive voice that comes back and saying, because it's not meant for you, or this isn't part of your journey. It's that positive voice again that seems like it kind of drove you on. Would you say that definitely helped for you to have that?
Every single second that I'm still breathing. I'm telling you, there's every doctor that worked on me, Kijuan Amey, counted me out. I even spoke to one of them. Because remember, that first month, I was out of it, and they were doing surgeries on me. But I had a follow-up appointment to go see my spinal cord doctor, the one who did my medical infusion. I was like, hey, doc, is my back on hurt like this all the time? And he was like, oh, it should get a little better, but, you just got to take it easy. I'm like, hey, man, taking it easy is not a part of my life. But he said when he saw me, I wish y'all could have been there. I wish I could have been in that doctor's office. This is his first time seeing me since he did this surgery, by the way. And he saw me in that doctor's office. This was not at the hospital. This was at a clinic. It's two different things. And so I'm sitting up on the table. My mom is sitting in the chair behind me. And in walks the doctor. They knock on the door, let you know they're coming in. And he has a student with him. And he walks in and he's like, oh, wow. I was like, what happened? I said, Mom, what happened? I'm looking back at my mom. What you doing back there? And so she was like, oh, no, he's talking about you. I was like, me? And he's like, yeah. I was like, what happened? He was like, I didn't expect you to be sitting up.
No.
And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, honestly, I expect you to be in a wheelchair. And I was like, and I do these laughs because I'm like, yeah, fooled you. And so I was like, oh yeah? And he was like, yeah, no, seriously. He said, that's impressive, man. And you look very sturdy. And I said, well, thank you. And I said, you know what? I'll do you one better. How about I stand up for you? He said, and he slides back on that little rolly chair. He said, go ahead. And I stood up and I said, I sure did. And he was like, man. I said, yeah, doc. And so I sat back down and he was like, I got to tell you, when they called me in there to do your spinal cord surgery, I was just doing it for protocol.
Whoa.
You know what I did? I said, oh man, well, some things are just, some things we're just not in control of,
Mm.
you know? And that's where my faith comes in.
Yeah.
When I hear people say that, and he was the doctor that worked on me.
Mm.
His name is signed to that work, to these rods and screws that are in my back. His name is on that.
Mm.
And he said that out of his mouth to me.
Mm.
I could have got all upset, irate, whatever you want to call it.
Mhm.
I could have flipped over a chair or table. I smiled because it's so much more beautiful to smile
Yeah.
in a situation like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it showed my strength.
Yeah.
So it was really a story that I even tell to the day, and I'm like, these 2 rods and 12 screws you put in my back made me stronger than ever before. So,
Unbreakable.
yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I just, do you know what? You're just a testament, aren't you, to like you said, to determination. Because that is, and you're just a perfect example of what I believe we're all capable of, but it's just believing in it, choosing to do it, and know that, like, and the faith, for me, I do truly think, like, whatever that faith is, in whichever way that is, just faith in a higher power, and there being a higher purpose for these things. I just think any of us can get through anything, and you're just a perfect shining example that you can do it with a smile on your face and jokes galore, which I just think is
Oh, yeah.
amazing. But I kind of have to ask you, really, before we kind of start wrapping it up, when you look back at your accident now, can you see, what do you think about it? Like, are you I know, and I know you'll know what I mean when I say this. Are you grateful for it? Has it taught you things? Can you see how it's part of your purpose? Can you see how it was part of your story? Like, how do you look back on that accident now from where you are, from your vantage point?
There are some pluses and some minuses.
Mm-hmm.
The plus side, I'll start with the minuses first.
Mm.
So the minuses are, I don't get to be the pilot that I wanted to be. Yes, I'm still in business, but I'm not doing the business that I was doing, which I really liked.
The
I really did
website.
enjoy
Yeah.
the Kiwi enterprise business.
Mm.
I think that degree was really fun for me too. I think what it would have been, because the specialization in that computer information systems degree was systems analysis and integration. And it's almost like being an interpreter between a business person and an engineer. That's what you are. You're like an interpreter for them. Because he don't understand computers and he don't understand business. So they need somebody to figure it out.
Yeah.
And that was where I came in.
Yeah.
Because I understood both sides. And so I really thought that, what I was doing was pretty much on point. Like, I enjoyed it. And of course, football. I loved football. Gosh. I mean, the dedication I put towards football, and I still do today, which kind of makes me upset, is just unwavering. Like, if I could go coach right now, I would.
Yeah.
Like, if a team would hire me, I would actually go coach.
Yeah.
Because I would figure out a way.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, that's how determined.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how determined I am about that sport. Like, I'm so invested in that sport. But anywho, the plus side to it, because those were the negative connotations. The plus side to it is there are people that have been placed in my life that I would have never met.
Aww.
You too.
Stop.
There, and then there are things that I would never have done, I don't think. Like speaking. I don't think I would be doing speaking.
No.
Because I'm going to tell y'all like this. Listen to me clearly. I never wanted to be the center of attention, like in front of people, having to be serious about something. I I can joke all day, as y'all can see.
Yeah.
As y'all know, I'm a good jokester. I got in trouble a lot. Okay, so that's not a problem. But when you have to be the expert in front of people and actually know what the heck you're talking about in front of people, yeah, there's a problem with that when it came to me. But now, have you ever seen that movie Big Daddy with Adam Sandler?
Yeah.
Yes, I have.
Here are my shades. Yeah, I'm invisible now, guys. So I watch. By the way, I still watch that movie all the time when I fly to my different speaking engagements. But I use my shades,
Yeah.
and these are my superpower.
No.
You know, and so it's things like that. The mindset. I mean, just the sure. I have joy when I speak. Like, and I know I'm there to do it. Like it's like every stage I step on feels different, and I'm gonna tell you why. Because when I get up there, I'm not Kijuan Amey. I'm who you need me to be for that moment.
Yeah.
Because if I'm trying to be me, I'll lose all of you. I'll lose everybody in that audience if I'm trying to be me.
Right.
But when I decrease and allow God to increase in me to speak to his people about whatever he needs me to speak about for this crowd, because they're not the same crowd as I was at yesterday or last week or last year.
Yeah.
So I need it for the message to be for this crowd. And bam, it comes out miraculous.
Channeling.
Yeah.
Yep.
Amazing.
Love that. And so do you do that? Do you just go out there and you don't really have a plan? You just trust and allow whatever comes out as what needs to be said?
There's always an outline.
Yeah.
But I do pray before I step on stage every time.
Yeah.
So the speakers competition I just did that I told you guys about, I had to speak twice. Both times I prayed before. Just because I prayed once the first time doesn't mean I'm not going to pray the second time I get up there. No, because those messages were different. So I needed them to come out different.
Yeah.
Because if I would have used the same thing I said the first time, the second time, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
It would not have worked. Because one was talking about my business.
Right.
The other speech was talking about how I overcame adversity. Those wouldn't be good. It wouldn't be good if I talked about my business when it comes to overcoming adversity. So, you know what I'm saying? So I had to pray both times. And I make it a point to do that. There are different routines. I'll use routines I do in order to get prepared. So I do preparation.
Go on, you do it.
What? No, you say.
Okay. So we're just smart. We're looking at each other here, and we know what we're thinking because it's just. I find it fascinating, and we have to say this because you do that. That's your ritual that you do before you go out. And we do the same thing on our podcast every time without fail. Now, we don't call it praying necessarily, but it is the same thing. And we talk to our guides, to the higher powers that we believe help us. And every time before we do the podcast, we set the intention. We ask, please use us. Please, work through us. Allow whatever needs to come through us to come through to help whoever's going to hear this now and in the future. And we say different things each time, but the kind of overall thing is it's the kind of thing behind it is the same as yours, isn't it? We're kind of allowing that higher whatever it is, energy, being, whatever, to come through us. We are just being channels and we're trusting in that, which is why we have a brief outline as well of what we're aiming to get out of each of our podcast episodes, but we don't know where the conversation's going to go, and we trust that wherever it goes is exactly what needs to be heard or felt by our listeners. And I love it because it's the same thing in a different kind of wrapped up in a different parcel. But we were just smiling when you were saying that because it just sounded like us, doesn't it? So
yeah.
Yeah.
And do you feel closer to God? Have you built a different relationship with him?
I would say yes.
Yeah.
Cause listen, I I don't understand. I be getting emotional about stuff, and I'm like, what? Hey man, you better man up. I be getting emotional. Like I'll be listening to a song and just the words just start ministering to me, and I'm like, holy smokes! And I literally feel something, not just tears. I feel
Yeah.
something, and I'm like, what? And I'm like, hey man, you better toughen up. Better get your life together. or I'll be on YouTube watching YouTube shorts, and there'll be these like this guy I follow. Oh gosh, I can't remember his name right now. But like he goes around acting like he's homeless or needs food or could get some money to get something to drink, something like that. Like can I just get like $1 or $2? You mind? Can you spare me? And he doesn't need it at all. What he's doing is to see people's hearts, and then in turn he gives them like $500 to $1,000, depending on their situation.
Yeah, I've seen him.
Have you?
Yeah, and so I'm watching these videos and I'm like, man, you trying to make me cry. And I love that stuff because there was this one lady and I think it's her and her son. I think it was her and her son. They were getting evicted. And so who was the guy that was helping them? It was a famous person that was helping them. But either way, he gave them, not only did the guy give them $1,000, the guy who was helping, who was famous, gave them a car. He got them a car. He gave them a place to stay. Paid for the rent for a year.
Oh, wow.
You know what I mean? And then gave them some spending money. Like I think it's like $10,000.
Oh my goodness.
Amazing.
You know what I'm saying? So when I see these things, I'm like, yo, that's what the world should be.
Yeah.
Not just these one-off videos. That should be life.
Mm.
When one is down, we should help instead of step on top of.
Yeah. Yeah.
And that's just partial to, that goes back kind of to what I was saying about, my pros and cons for this accident. Like, yeah, I would have, loved to been flying in the military, but I'm gonna be honest, some of the things that's going on right now, I don't agree with in here. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, but when you sign that paper, you have to obey the orders that are given to you, as long as they're lawful.
Yeah.
When they stopped becoming lawful orders, that's when I would have had a problem. So yeah, that's the only thing. But yeah, trust me, I'm definitely connected now.
Yeah.
I'm way more connected to God, and man, listen, there are some days I'll be riding in the backseat of my car and I'll just like yeah. I'll be like, oh man. And I do my best. And I just sit back there and I just think. And I'll sing. Sometimes I sing to myself. I have my AirPods in.
Yeah.
And I have the noise canceling on. And I'll be singing. My mom be like, don't you hear me listening to music? I say, don't you hear me listening to music? And so anyway.
I bet you can sing as well.
Yeah.
I bet you're a good singer.
I can sing. I can sing. And so, I just listen to the music, and sometimes I just can't help but sing.
Yeah.
Like it's like something just takes over me, and I gotta sing, because the words of songs mean something, but some people overlook it because they hear a beat.
Yeah.
I'm like, have y'all ever heard of Forrest Frank?
No.
Oh yeah, he's really good. His name is Forrest Frank. I found him again, YouTube.
Yeah.
He has this song called Good Day.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Oh my gosh. I'm just going to write this one.
Yeah, but it says, it says, I'm about to have a good day in every single way.
Oh.
The sun is shining down on me. The birds are singing praise. I'm about to have a good day. No matter what they say. The God who made the universe knows me by my name, so it's a good day.
Oh, stop it. Oh,
Good day.
yes.
That is the name of that song.
Oh,
It's beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah, I sung it, but he does way better than me. I mean, gosh.
Oh,
And then the whole just the composition of it is so amazing.
wow.
It's got birds chirping in the background.
Oh.
You gotta listen to
We
it.
will. We'll
You
have a
got
look.
to, yeah.
We'll listen. Kijuan, honestly, we could speak to you for ages. You're just such a ray of sunshine. You truly are.
Thank you.
I just love for you to leave our audience with a little kind of like a last little message. What would you like after your journey, everything that's happened to you, everything you've learned, and everything you are now? What would you like people listening to know? What would you like to leave them with?
So here's something that helps me along the way. It keeps me motivated, keeps me pushing, and I'm sure it can do the same for you. So listen up, guys.
Yeah.
When someone tells you you can't, show them why you can.
Yeah.
That's it.
I love that.
Oh.
I love that. And let's all be as determined as Kijuan in anything that we're trying to do, like in any kind of challenges. I'm going to channel your determination.
Me too.
I am, truly. I really am.
I want to tattoo.
I'm sending it across to
Calm
you.
down.
Yeah, hey, I'm Kijuan Amey, and I approve this message.
We're going to have words later, Kijuan. I'm not sure about this. I don't know how our husband would feel about it. Oh my gosh, it's been an absolute pleasure. You are a ray of sunshine, and thank you so much for coming on the podcast and sharing your story and sharing your beautiful energy with everybody.
Everyone's going to love
I
it.
hope you guys at home listening are feeling his energy the way we are, because it's special. You are a special soul, Kijuan. You really are.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Right. Well, guys, that's it for this week. We will see you next week. Take care. Bye.